In this morning's shir, we'll Be'ez Hashem discuss and hopefully clarify the mitzvah of Sefiras Haomer. Does it apply to ladies? Anasha mechuyev in the mitzvah of Sefiras Haomer. The Rambam in Tvidim Musafim, the Rambam says, a Lashon HaRambam, mitzvah zu kol ish mi Yisrael, everyone is mechuyev, ubechol mokim, ubechol zman, v'noshim v'avadim p'turim imena. The Rambam spells out clearly that ladies are parted from the mitzvah of Sefiras Haomer. The Chinuch as well, the Chinuch usually goes with the Shittas HaRambam, that noshim are parted, ladies are parted from the mitzvah of Sefiras Haomer. Why should ladies be parted from Sefiras Haomer? Explains the Minchas Chinuch. The reason why they're parted is because it's a mitzvah seishas man grama. The mitzvah only comes between Pesach and Shavuos. It's dependent on time. It's a mitzvah seishas man grama that noshim are parted. However, he brings the sheet of the Magen Avram, that the Magen Avram says that even though they're potter because it's a mitzvah seishas man grama, but kibul aleim chayva, which means at some point ladies were all counting, and by them counting, they kind of took it on themselves as a chiyuv to count. And Mamela, at this point, Nashim are mechuyev to count. So even though we see that the Rambam, the Rishonim say that they're potter because it's a mitzvah seishas man grama, however, since kibul aleim chayva, bedoima like Ma'ariv is a reshus. But Kibul Alei, we took it on as a chayiv, so now a person can't say, I'm not in the mood of Ma'ariv, because now it's a chayiv, it's a chayiv. So too by Svir also, even though ladies are be'etzem potter, it's a mitzvah seishas man grama, but since Kibul Alei chayiva, so now ladies are mechuyev for Sefiras Haomer. The Minchas Chinuch asks on this Magen Avram, and he says, if the Torah pattered ladies because it's a mitzvah seishas man grama, so they're potter. How could you say that they should be mechuyev? Ma'ariv is a reshus. Okay, so you want to be mechayiv yourself, you can be mechayiv yourself. But Sefiras Haomer, the Torah says noshim are potter b'mitzvah seishas man grama. So the Torah pattered ladies some svira. So what does it mean they brought it on as a chayiv? The Torah says potter. How can you make it yourself mechuyev? And just to take it a little further, the Darkei Moshe explains why it would be different than Ma'ariv. Ma'ariv, what does it mean kibul aleim chayva? There's a machlokes if Ma'ariv is a reshus or a chayv. So the kibul aleim chayva means they took on like tzad to say that you're mechuyev. That's kibul aleim chayva. Ma'ashenke by Sefiras Haomer, there is no tzad that you're mechuyev. And therefore, what does it mean kibul aleim chayva? By Ma'ariv, these are machlokes if you're mechuyev or not. So even though we would say it's a reshus, we paskin it's a chayiv. That's kibul aleim chayva. We go with the tzad chiyuv. But by Sefiras Haomer, it's a mitzvah seishas man grama. First of all, the Torah says potter. If the Torah says potter, how could he be machayiv? V'oid, if the kibul aleim chayva is only b'makom when there's a chiyuv. If there's no chiyuv, if there's no tzad chiyuv, there's no sheet of chiyuv, what would be the tzad to be mechuyev? Where's that Tosfos? Tosfos and Pesachim says b'makom that the Torah pattered the Chachamim when they be mechayiv the mitzvah. The Chachamim wouldn't go be mechayiv. What'd you say? No, but even a mitzvah the Rabbanon when the Chachamim were mechayiv, they weren't mechayiv b'makom the Torah pattered means. Where would be an example? There is an example over there. It means even by the Rabbanon, if it's a new mitzvah, the Basel Megillah or something, even if it's man grama, the Chacham could be mechayiv. But if the Torah part is, the Chacham want to be mechayiv. The Pashas, we'll look into it more. So what we have so far is that Sefiras Haomer is a mitzvah seishas man grama, nashma p'turis. The Shittas HaRamban, the Ramban in Kedushin Lamed Daled Lamed Aleph, the Ramban goes on the Gemara. The Gemara has a list. The Gemara has a list in Kedushin of mitzvahs seishas man grama and mitzvahs seishas einas man grama. The Gemara has a list, and the Ramban says on the list ton of a shire because it says the Ramban there are more zman gramas, more einas man grama. He brings different cases. In the list of mitzvahs seishas einas man grama, take a look over there in the Ramban lists Sefiras Haomer. The Ramban lists by the Mitzvas she'ein hazman grama, one of them is Sefiras Haomer, which comes out from the Ramban, since it's a mitzvah to say she'ein hazman grama, and that's what the list is all about, if noshim are mechuyev or not. From the Ramban would come out that ladies are mechuyev in Sefiras Haomer. It's a mitzvah to say she'ein hazman grama. The shaila is what's pshan in the Ramban. The Ramban says it's ein hazman grama and ladies would be mechuyev. That's what would come out. But how is it ein hazman grama? Isn't it totally in zman? It's totally from Pesach. You count between Pesach and Shavuos. So what's pshan in the Ramban that the Ramban says it's ein hazman grama? But so far we have the Rambam, the Chinuch say that Nashim Apatak because the mitzvah says hazman grama, and the Ramban says Sefiras Haomer they're mechuyev because it's a mitzvah says ein hazman grama. So there's a few terutzim, and I'll share some of them. One teretz is brought in the Divrei Malkiel, and he says that it's a Torah Sefer, it's a mistake. Not that the Rambam made a mistake, it's a printing mistake. It really belongs, Sefiras Haomer belongs in the list of mitzvahs aseh hazman grama. And the Ramban also holds that Sefiras Haomer, Nashim Apat, it's a mitzvah aseh hazman grama. Or he says that it's a printing mistake and it was abbreviation. It said Mem Tov Ayin, which means Matnas Aniyim. That's a mitzvah say she'ein hazman grama, and instead they wrote Sefiras Haomer. Or even says even more, it was Sefiras Haomer. The abbreviation is Samach Hei Ayin, and it was supposed to say Seder Avoida, which Seder Avoida is not a mitzvah say hazman grama. Or even if it is technically Zman Grama, but Lamaisa Nashim HaMechuyev, but that was supposed to go into the list of Ein Zman Grama, and the printer put in Sefiras Haomer. And he says, if you think I'm just saying a printing mistake, he says it's Yedua Lebekiyim. Many times you find that there's a printing mistake, either they put it in the wrong place, the wrong abbreviation. So this is the first teretz that the Ramban holds like the Rambam as well, that Sefiras Haomer is a mitzvah seish hazman grama, and Noshim are going to be potter. That's what comes out clearly through this teretz. Another teretz the Divrei Malkiel gives, and with this teretz of the Divrei Malkiel, we'll see already that Noshim may taka be mechuyev. The next teretz in the Divrei Malkiel, he says, is that it's true that Sefiras Haomer is a mitzvah seish hazman grama. What's the mitzvah seish hazman grama about it? That it's totally between Pesach and Shavuos. But since Sefiras Haomer is dependent on the carbon, which means if you don't count, we mentioned it in a previous year, there's even a tzad that you don't bring the shtei alechem. So the Sefiras Haomer is linked, is dependent with the carbon of Shavuos. Memela, that's not that. For that, it's not a. It's, and I'm sorry, and carbon they're mechuyev. Or he says it's dependent on the Yom Tif, which means after counting the Sefiras, Shavuos is not a certain day in the calendar. It's after the 49 days of counting. So memela, even though Sefiras Haomer is a mitzvah saseish hazman grama, but since Sefiras is dependent on something else, what is it dependent on? The carbon of Shavuos, or it's dependent on the carbon, or it's dependent on Yom Tif. But either one of them, Nashim HaMechuyev, the Mechuyev and Karbonis, carbon symbol ladies are included, as well as they're also included in the Yom Tov of Shavuos. So therefore, even though it's a mitzvah seish hazman grama, since Sefiras is linked to something else, and that's something else in Shavuos, they're Mechuyev, so they're Mechuyev on Sefiras Haomer as well. So what comes out, Lafi this? Sefiras Haomer is a mitzvah seish hazman grama, but even though it's a mitzvah seish hazman grama, they're mechuyev for the reason that it's tied into carbon, tied into the Yom Tov of Shavuos, which they're mechuyev. So memela, since it's tied in, they're mechuyev in the Sefiras Haomer as well. You find that in other places also that they can be mechuyev when it's tied into something else. So you're going to ask me, the Ramban puts it into the list of mitzvahs aseh she'ein hazman grama. We're saying now it's a mitzvah seish hazman grama, but still they're mechuyev because it's tied into the carbon, it's tied into the Yom Tov of Shavuos. he couldn't. You have a good point, and that's l'chayr tzarach loymar, that when he puts it into mitzvah say she'ein azran grama, he means to put it into the list of the where they're mechuyev. It's a mitzvah say shazman grama, but lamaisa they're mechuyev. Matzah is a mitzvah say shazman grama, but they're mechuyev. It's not on his list. Matzah over there. I'm almost sure it's not on the list. But yet tzarach loym, you put it into the ein azman grama to say it's like a ein azman grama that the mechuyev. That's tzarach loym, like Elias Taka saying that I thought also. It's a bit, I wouldn't call it misleading, but it's taka. If it's in the list of ein azman grama, means it's ein azman grama. It's a zman grama, but still nashim a mechuyev because it's tied into shvuas, which they're mechuyev with a carbon.
Carbon is not grama also. Carbon.
But Lamaisa, they're mechuyev a carbon sibur.
It's not a mitzvah, it's not grama. Carbon. The mitzvah of carbon. Maybe it's totally in that mitzvah.
No, it's totally. He says either it's totally in the carbon. Which carbon? The carbon of shtei alachim of shuas. Is it a mitzvah? We're going to get to it a little later. I'm not going to handle badafka carbon. We'll see a concept. We'll see. We'll try to see if it'll cover carbon. Pashtus, it is man grama. You can't bring it by night. But yoyim v'loy v'layla.
The thing is, if the carbon makes the chiyuv, then it's not as man grama. It's not the zman that's going. It's the carbon that's going.
Moiridik Elio, he's saying that's a different teretz. That's a different teretz.
It's answering your kasha. Why is it still called an zman grama?
Oh, so if that's the case, so then it's nothing to do. We'll see. That's a different teretz. That's the Ramchal, one of the Rishayim say the teretz. It's a different teretz, and we'll see that teretz, and we'll see how different it is. This teretz is that be'etzem Sefiras Haomer, since it's tied into the carbon, and could be his carbon is a zman grama. However, since they're mechuyev in carbon, shvuas is a zman grama, but since they're mechuyev, so mamela they're mechuyev in Sefiras Haomer also. You're saying a different teretz that it's not a zman grama. Very good. That's one of the Rishonim teretz. But first of all, we started with the Divrei Makil that says that it's a Toya Sefer, so I'm already going to continue with this other teretz, even though obviously it's later. But this teretz is that it's a zman grama. But the zman grama is tied into a different, to karbonis, which yeshlodan is zman grama, or to shvuas, which is zman grama. But that they're mechuyev, smell the mechuyev in Sefiras Haomer as well. Bin hadoima, the Avnei Nezer says bedoima, such a teretz also to be miyashiv, explained the Ramban how the Ramban understands that ladies are mechuyev in Sefiras Haomer, and he says that since Sefiras Haomer, you count from the Omer, from Pesach, from Machras HaShabbos, and Noshim, ladies are mechuyev in Sefiras Haomer. I'm sorry, in Machras HaShabbos. What's Machras HaShabbos? In Pesach. Pesach is a zman grama also. So the teretz is what they're mechuyev. The kol sheyeshin, the mechuyev in matzah. The chinuch learns the mechuyev in Sipi Yitzias Mitzrayim. There are mitzvahs in Pesach that in the first day Machras HaShabbos that they're mechuyev. So even though it's a zman grama, so svartum lechem in Machras HaShabbos, just like Pesach, the first day they're mechuyev. Even though it's a zman grama, they're mechuyev in Sefiras Haomer. Even though it's a zman grama. So these terutzim are that it's a zman grama. Sefiras Haomer is a zman grama. That's more or less the pashtis, but still the Ramban holds that they're mechuyev because it's tied into either Pesach or tied into Shavuos. The Maram Chalva, one of the Rishonim, learns that Sefiras Haomer is not a mitzvah saseh zman grama. Why? Because Sefiras Haomer, like Elio mentioned just before, Sefiras Haomer is what we count from the Omer, from the carbon. As we spoke last week, when the attack count from the Yomta, from the carbon, he goes the account from the carbon, from the Omer. So if you count from the Omer, that's not Zman Grama. Zman Grama is that the first day Sukkot you take a lulav. Here, it's not the Zman Grama, Tezayin Nisan. The second day Pesach is when you count. You count from the Omer. So that's not Zman Grama. And that's Taka the Ramban puts it in the list of Eina Zman Grama. It's Taka not a Zman Grama. Are you going to ask me? Moiridik, Taka. I'm not sure if he speaks that himself or I just wrote it there. Tzarach Loima, but very good. Ida Omer is Zman Grama, very good. He says that it's not a Zman Grama Sefiras Haomer because it's dependent in Haomer. Very good. Menachem's asking, but the Haomer is Zman Grama. So if the Haomer is Zman Grama, so it's dependent weiter in time. Oh, very good. I think he does say it. Sefiras Haomer is dependent in the carbon. The carbon is taka dependent in time. Good. So maybe taka the voice Haomer is Zman Grama. But the Sefiras Haomer is not dependent in the time of when you're bringing the Zman Grama of the carbon. It's dependent in the carbon. So, very good, very good. If let's say you would bring the Haomer Chanukah, you would start counting Chanukah. It's not. It happens to be. It falls out between Pesach and Shavuos, and it happens to be carbon Haomer is Zman Grama. But the counting is totally in totally in the carbon. The carbon itself is not Zman Grama. The carbon is it's a next step. Are they mechuyev in that carbon? I mean, in general, the mechuyev in carbonis, but the carbon itself is a Zman Grama. But the chiv Sefira is totally in Haomer, and the Haomer itself is not Zman Grama.
The thing from the beginning, but I wasn't sure how it linked. But the whole shmuz you gave last week about the whole counting and what the bracha is on. Whether you're counting Haomer or you're counting days, like it all is the same. Very good, and we're going to get to the Rabbi Chatzkel Abramsky Taka wants to be told. We'll get to that momentarily. That 2 weeks ago's Nidun, if it's the Raisa the Rabbanon, would be linked to this machlek. So we'll get to it shortly. Very good, Morty. Very well said. So the first two terutzim, actually the second and the third. The first one was a Toya Sefer. The first two terutzim we mentioned was that Sefiras Haomer is a Zman Grama, but that's still mechuyev. This teretz is that it's not a Zman Grama, and that's taka why they're mechuyev. Another teretz is brought b'shem Reb Scheinberg, and he says Zman Grama is only if it's something that comes out of the mitzvah, which means a lulav dalad minim is dalad minim throughout the year. However, the Zman Grama says only take dalad minim on the first day Sukkos. That's Zman Grama. However, by Svira, it's not that you have the tzura of the mitzvah, but you have to plug it into a certain time. If you count between Chanukah and Purim, you don't even have the tzura of the mitzvah. Dalad minim, if you take dalad minim today, you're taking the dalad minim that the Torah wanted you should take the first day Sukkos. However, it's in the wrong time. That's Zman Grama, which means Zman Grama is only something that is a time when to do the mitzvah. But if the time creates the whole entire mitzvah, what does it mean it creates the mitzvah? The counting, it's not just you have to count in a certain time. If you count in a different time, you're not counting. Dalad minim, if you take the dalad minim today, you're taking dalad minim. You don't have the mitzvah because the Torah says to take a first day Sukkos. So therefore, says Rav Scheinberg, that doesn't go into mitzvah saseh Zman Grama. Mitzvah saseh Zman Grama is only if the Zman is goyrim the mitzvah at a certain time. Here, the Zman is not goyrim the mitzvah. The Zman is actually the mitzvah itself.
There is no chefza shal mitzvah?
Correct. There is no chefza shal mitzvah because the counting, it's not just when you should count. If you count in a different time, you're not counting at all.
What's the matzah the rest of the year? Eating matzah is maisa kaif the rest of the year.
Avada, it's maisa kaif. But the matzah is matzah even a different, if you do it properly, the matzah is a proper matzah any other time. Avada, you're doing nothing because the Torah says only eat it Leil Tezvav Nisan. Avada. But the surah of the mitzvah, the chefza shal mitzvah, you have it throughout the year also. I know, like even the Gemara says that throughout the, I'm not sure if it's a Gemara, but let's say the Dalad Minim, the rest of the year it doesn't have a Din Esrig. But it means the Tzura of the Mitzvah, when the Torah says take the Dalad Minim, those Dalad Minim are Dalad Minim even throughout the year also. Doesn't have Kedusha Mitzvah, it's not a Chefza Mitzvah, but it's Dalad Minim. The Torah just says when to take it. What?
And then you have a time that kicks it in.
Right. The time kicks in just to say when to take the Dalad Minim, but the Dalad Minim itself are...
That's what you're saying.
Zman Grama is the time is goyrim. The mitzvah should come. The mitzvah itself you have.
Saying that item that you have the whole year, the Zman is telling you that now you take it from mitzvah.
Right.
You're saying this one, the Zman itself, is what the mitzvah is.
Kiddush Hayoim is used for
Because kol sheyeshna in the lav are in the say also, even though it's a zman grama. You talk about Shabbos Yom Tiv of Lamatas Malachas of. Very good, Eli. I was bothered. That's why I was waiting if anybody had this also. I wasn't going to ask it a stark that it's a kal v'chomer, but at least I hear there's a chiluk. But why is it a machalak? Means I hear that zman grama is only it's a chiluk. This is zman grama. Do you have the mitzvah? You don't have it at all. At least I'm asking even starker. It's even more of a zman grama. The reason why zman grama, the Rishonim say at least one of the reasons, because it's hard. You can't lock them into a certain time. So here it's even more of zman grama. It's not just zman grama. It's the whole mitzvah is dependent on time.
It's not dependent on time. It's only at that time. It's not dependent on time.
The mitzvah, you're right, it's not the mitzvah is dependent on time, but the whole mitzvah is time. It's even worse. If you count a different time, you still miss the whole boat. So what comes out of this? It's, I would like to say it's a mitzvah say she'ein zman grama, which means when the Torah pater zman grama, this doesn't go into zman grama. Zman grama is like we explained that it's only you have the mitzvah and the zman is goyim the mitzvah. One more teretz for now, a final teretz. The Chassam Sofer says the Yesod in Mitzvah Seisha Zman grama. Geschmaki Yesod is only if the mitzvah is said in a certain time, and I'll explain. Tefillin is a zman grama. Tefillin is by day and not by night. So it's a zman grama. By night there is no chiyuv tefillin. That's a mitzvah seisha zman grama. Mila, I'm not sure if he brings the case of Mila, but a moil you can't. A Mila, there's no tour by night. From the 8th day, you're mechuyev non-stop, day and night. You're mechuyev. It happens to be by night, you can't do a bris, but there's be'etzem achiyev by night also. That would be a mitzvah say she'ein zman grama. Something that at the time that you can't do it is because you're potter, so it's dependent on time. Something that you just can't do it, let's call it heichatim tzadik. There's a separate din that Mila is not kosher by night. This baby in the 9th day, Leil after the 8th day, you couldn't do it the 8th day, comes the night. Now he's potter from Mila? He's not potter. He's a oral. He's mechuyev in Mila. However, you just have to, even though he's mechuyev, you can't do it because b'yoyim v'loy b'layla.
That's why the Beis Hamikdash, Noshim are mechuyev also in Beis Hamikdash.
That's a shmooze. Very good. Yeah. Because Shabbos, b'layla also the potter also.
Last man binyan, but it's not this man groma. It's like this shtickle. It's just that you're not building by night.
Tefillin, you might fall asleep, huh? It says anywhere tefillin is after Bayern. So of course you might fall asleep, you have a Torah not to wear at night.
So he's saying weiter to Hechatimtza. There also should technically it should be a Pilas Yesod. Yitaka said, he says that tefillin the ein noeg achiva mitzvah b'layla. So he's saying right, it's only a hechatimtza. Shabbos is hecha. The Yitzhak zman grama here. So what does he say by Sefiras Haomer? Sefiras Haomer is dependent on the carbon. Now, before we said it's dependent on the carbon, it could be the carbon is a zman grama, but that's the second step. Here he says Sefiras Haomer is totally on the carbon. The carbon is not dependent on time. The carbon Haomer is brought when the Sa'orim are done. That's when the carbon is brought. It happens to be, when is it done, when is it ripe, that you could bring it as Tezayin Nisan. So it's not dependent on time, it's right to Hechatimtza. So Mela Sefiras Haomer, which is dependent on the carbon Haomer, the carbon Haomer is not dependent on time. Well, you were asking before that it's dependent on time. He says it's not dependent on time. It's not dependent on Tezayin Nisan. The carbon Haomer is brought whenever it's ready. I mean, if it would have been ready in the middle of the winter, you would bring it then also. So Mela, it's not as man grama. If that could be by ayim more, by tefillin, by tzitzis, we have to see more about it.
That would mean that every year the date would be different. So every year it happens to be that it's already on 10 times.
Isn't it Doicha Shabbos?
What's Doicha Shabbos?
The Mitzvas Haomer? It's man. I'm not if it's true.
Why does it have to be? What do you mean? Why is it man?
Because this man is mechayiv to bring it on Tezayin. Tezayin is the chiv. You have to bring it on that day.
Maybe it's Doicha Shabbos because the Zman is when it's ripe, and it's ripe then. That's what the Torah says. Bring it when it's ripe, and it becomes ripe Tezayin. You're asking that it changes? Could be that's the Zman when it's set that it's. I think Amal could be earlier or later. I don't know if that's such a kasha. I hear what you're saying. Technically, it should be dependent on every year when it's. Sometimes it's earlier, it's later. No, so lefi this also, Sefiras Haomer is a mitzvah to say she'enas man grama. That's pshat on the Ramban. Why nashma pater? Nashma chayv. I'm sorry. So we have over here machlokes rishonim. The Rambam, the Chinuch say ladies are pater. It's a mitzvah to say shas man grama. And the pashtus in the Ramban says that ladies are mechuyev. Either it's a zman grama and they're still mechuyev, or it's enas man grama but they're mechuyev. So it's Mavur and Chazoin Yecheskel on Tosefter. Becheskel Abramsky says that the machlokes of ladies and machuyev and Sefiras Haomer, as like Morty mentioned before, is dependent on the machlokes rishonim we mentioned in last year. If Sefiras Haomer is the Iraisa or the Rabbanon. The Rambam learns that Sefiras Haomer is the Iraisa. Why is it the Iraisa? Because it has nothing to do with the carbon. You count from Pesach to Shavuos. That's why it's deraisa, even bezman hazeh. Sorry, it shows if it's deraisa bezman hazeh. So even bezman hazeh that we don't have a carbon, it's still deraisa because why is it deraisa? It's still deraisa because we're counting from Pesach to Shavuos. So then it's totally in zman. Totally in zman. It's a zman garama. The Rambam says that it's potter. But if you learn it's the Rabbanon, why is it the Rabbanon? Because it's totally in the Haomer. If it's totally in the Haomer, it's not a zman garama. Either it's Zman Garama and you're still Mechuyev, it's not a Zman Garama, but that's what he wants to be toilet. The Machlokes Rishonim, Lagabi Sefiras Haomer would depend on the Machlokes we mentioned last week. If Sefiras Haomer Bezman Hazeh is the Raisa the Rabbanon. Just to go back now, what we started off, the Minchas Chinuch asks on the Ramban. How does the Ramban say the Mechuyev? The Magen Avram. Asks on the Magen Avram. How does the Magen Avram say that the Mechuyev now because Kiba Aleim Chayva? What do you mean Kiba Aleim Chayva? He says it's not doimit to Ma'ariv. Like we saw Ma'ariv, these are machlokes if Ma'ariv is a Chayva or a Shos. So maybe Kiba Aleim Chayva. But Sefiras Haomer, everyone holds its potter. That's how the Minchas Chinuch asks on the Magen Avram. But says Rav Vosder and Shevet HaLevi, that now that we see these machlokes rishonim if ladies are mechuyev and Sefiras Haomer, since it's a machlokes rishonim, you can have Kiba Aleim Chayva also. What did he ask a Shaila that if the Torah says Potter, how can you come Kiba Aleim Chayva? No, these are machlokes rishonim, the Rambam and the Ramban. If ladies are mechuyev and Sefiras Haomer, so the ladies Kiba Aleim Chayva that they're mechuyev. So that would be the answer on the Minchas Chinuch Shaila on the Magen Avram. So what's the halacha?
Kiba Aleim Chayva that's not as man grama?
Kiba Aleim Chayva that they're mechuyev.
It's not lav man grama.
Mitzad the Shitas Ramban. Yeah. When you say lavs man grama, what the Ramban says that they're mechuyev. Either it says man and the slow mechuyev lavs man grama.
They take upon themselves a chiv more chomer than they actually are mechuyev.
No, if you learn like the Ramban, all the terutzim we said now, besides the first, is that they're mechuyev. They're mechuyev. So these are machlokes, just like by Ma'ariv, these are machlokes chiv or a shos. So here, these are machlokes if they're mechuyev. The Ramban holds them mechuyev. Either it's man gram and they're still mechuyev, so Kiba Aleim Chayva that they're mechuyev. L'maisa lahalacha, even though we see clearly as machlokes rishonim, lahalacha, it's clear that nashim are potter. the Ramban is not brought la halacha, not even as a yashayber. Nashim are pturais. Lamaitza pturais means they're potter, but they're allowed to. Even the Zohar, that the Zohar says, Api Kabbalah, it's only for men, not for ladies. The pashtus is that ladies could. Michal showed me this morning in Arletzion that brings that could be even the Svardim go even further, that taka not to count Api Kabbalah. But the pashtus is that they're allowed to count, but they're not mechuyev. Legabe the bracha. For the Svardim, that's a separate shmuz because the mitzvah says shazman grama, they don't make brachas. So Mamela, even if Ashkenazim would count with a bracha, if they count, they have to leave out the bracha. It's shazman grama. But anyways, lahalacha, we paskin that they're potter, but they're allowed to. Pashas they're allowed to. The Mishnah Berurah, however, brings two reasons why they should not. First of all, because ladies don't understand what they're saying in the Sevira. That's one reason the Mishnah Berurah says they shouldn't count. And another reason is because they may forget one night. And if you forget one night, we're choishish for the shita, that's one big mitzvah. So maybe if you're not going to do the mitzvah, then don't count partly with a bracha. You're not going to be makayim the mitzvah. So on both reasons, the poskim say that bizman hazeh, it's not really so applicable. First of all, the ladies know clearly what they're counting. And these charts and reminders and alerts for them to remember. So Mamela they could count it, they could count it a bracha, and that's taka the minig brought the stipler. Taka used to remind, they bring in the Archas Rabbeinu that he counted, reminded his wife, counted with a bracha. Me'idach of Shlomo Zalman, the minig was not to count with a bracha. But Rav Steinman said that even if the reason why not to count with a bracha is because they might forget, if they made it up to day number 49, that night they could count with a bracha because there's no more forgetting. So we have a machlokes rishonim if they're mechuyev or not mechuyev. Even if they're not mechuyev, it's a zman grammar, they're allowed to do it. And the pashtus is they could count and count with a bracha. And just to conclude, the Aruch HaShulchan over here in Sif Tal it says, "V'hanashim pturos because it's zman grammar. Makol makom noagu levorech v'limneis kachol mitzvahs aseh shazman grammar."
I was going to say that there's no way. I mean, you said